Welcome back, y'all, to another episode of Tony Plays The Binding of Isaac. Hope everyone's doing all right. Sorry, I don't know. I stumbled over my words for a second there. Hope everyone's doing all right. I'm doing pretty okay myself. Today, we're going to be attempting to do another bad run of a character that I hate with a passion. And that character is Tainted Lost. You know, it is what it is. We'll see how things turn out later in the run. What the hell? We'll see how things turn out later in the, hold on. Come on, man, you can't do that to me. How am I already broken mantle, bro? I'm cooked, dog. I'm fucking cooked. Anyways, hope everyone's doing all right. I'm doing pretty okay myself, I guess. My apologies for, I don't think I yelled, but you know, just being like, oh, I'm cooked, you know, whatever. My bad, y'all. Yeah, I'm just kind of chilling, trying to enjoy my day, my nice and lovely Saturday. My absolutely nice and lovely Saturday that nothing could ruin. Right, guys? Anyways, besides the fact that I just died immediately, I hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone's doing all right. Wow, that is solid. I'll take it. You know, hope everyone's doing okay. Everyone's chilling, killing. It is what it is, you know. I'm pretty okay myself. I just woke up. I don't know if you could tell. I don't think I have a or no, I didn't just wake up. That's probably why I don't have like a morning voice or anything like that. Not that I would record. I mean, I have. There have been some days where I've literally woken up and first thing I did was, all right, it's the weekend. My day is free. I'm gonna wake up and immediately go record because I'm gonna say this, and it might sound kind of mean, but I don't mean it in a mean way. Is that I'm gonna go record so I can get it out the way, you know what I mean? That's my thought process, but I don't mean it as like a I don't give a fuck about recording kind of deal, you know? I feel like I always gotta clarify that. I don't know why. I don't think anyone doubts it or anything, you know? I don't think like it's ever been put into doubt, like, oh, Tony hates recording or anything. I think it's just like it's like a me thing, you know? I don't want to say I'm just a little special because that seems, you know, because of the implication. Am I right, guys? Always Sunny, dude. I fucking love It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. That show is so goddamn funny to me, dude. I used to watch that shit all the time. Let me tell you guys a little story about high school era Tony, you know? And the only reason that I'm talking about this is one, I think it's a funny story. And two, it's very relevant to the Always Sunny conversation. So, back in high school, I don't know, I believe it's still like this for the youngins, one might say. My bad, I had to cough. I'm pretty sure it's like still like this for the youngins, where there's Chromebooks, you know? You guys ever have to deal with Chromebooks growing up at all? Anyone that didn't? There you go, okay. Alright, I just want to make sure I got that. Anyone that went to high school or middle school, maybe around the same era as me, you know? We had Chromebooks that we had to use, and like, you know, that was pretty much like where we wrote all of our essays or anything. All our essays, we had to like learn how to like print our essays and stuff like that, you know, the future. No more handwritten essays or whatever. Democles is a very good item. I like this item a lot, especially as who I am. My bad, y'all. But anyways, freaking Tony yapping about Chromebooks aside. So, back in high school, this was sophomore year, and I remember this very well. For anyone that's not American, I believe that's year 10. So I was in my year 10, you know, and I used to get on the Chromebooks, and I'm gonna keep it. I was about to. I'm so glad that I didn't. I was about to brain rot, I think, so hard. I was gonna say I'm gonna keep it a GERT, but that. You guys probably don't know what the hell that means. You guys probably like, what the fuck? I'm gonna keep it a GERT? What the fuck are you talking about? And I just gotta say, I'm sorry. Look it up if you care. I'll probably rant on it a little bit later. But my brain is so mentally cooked due to TikTok. Anyways, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. What I used to do back in sophomore year is definitely not the method anyone out there should be able to easily tell you this. Is that back in high school, it was specifically my English class, because I had a very nice teacher, and I don't think I impressed her, kind of. I don't know where she got the implication that I was, like, I guess kind of smarter than I am. I appreciate it. Trust me, I really do. But if I'm gonna be real, at the end of the day, I'm kind of a dumbass. It doesn't take a genius to notice. You guys have, I mean, look at my Isaac videos. But, you know, I don't necessarily think I was the world's smartest kid, but I guess this, you know, she saw potential in me at, if I applied myself, I could, you know, I could be doing shit. So for that, I'm obviously like, you know, oh, thank you. I appreciate her support. But me looking back on it, I'm kind of like, I don't know. I feel like I've always kind of been a little dumb. But regardless of that, she was a really nice teacher. And what we used to always do is that in class, whenever we were like writing essays around that kind of time sort of deal, it would always kind of be like, what's the word I'm thinking of? We'd like not sit in silence kind of, but like, you know, everyone go get on your Chromebooks right now and like start typing up your essay or do whatever it is. I already unlocked the secret room. I don't know why I bombed that. You know, just like kind of like silent reading time, but not reading, but it was either a silent reading time or like we all would just start typing on our Chromebooks, you know, like if we had to like write something. And I'm gonna be real with y'all. Around those times when she would tell us, all right, everyone take out your Chromebook, you know, go to the little computer case thing in the back of the class, take out your Chromebook, start typing up, you know, write about this, write about that. I'm gonna be real with you. Almost all the time. Oh, I remember we were doing book reports. And she gave us a lot of free time to like, you know, write our essay for the book report and cite sources and shit like that. I'm gonna keep it a stack with y'all, you know? A lot of the time, my ass was not reading that book report, you know what I mean? And like, I was not doing my work, essentially, is what I'm trying to say here. And I'm gonna be real. What I used to do instead is, I don't know why, but for some reason, the Chromebooks at school, they had a lot of like pages blocked, you know, like you could go to YouTube, you couldn't go to like Cool Math Games, or you know, anyone remember Cool Math Games? But there would always be like these like not freak websites, but you know, like you couldn't go to Armor Games or anything like that. But there would be these other websites around that would be like unblocked games. And if you went on there, you could play something, you know? Well, for some reason, Netflix was not blocked on the school Wi-Fi or whatever. And so what I would do is that in class, whenever it was like you know, like everyone go their separate ways, go start working on your book report or whatever, my ass would sit down, get my Chromebook, and I would just start watching It's Always Sunny. Because I don't know. I'm just like, I was cooked like that, I guess. I was like, man, I'm not gonna fucking do this stupid ass essay. That's my thought process. You know, in my mind, I'm like, I'll do it later, you know? I'll do it later. Right now, I don't want to do it. And so my ass would just go on Netflix and watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia because, like, I don't know, I'm mentally cooked or whatever. I got a cough. I need a... My apologies. And I'm not even joking with y'all. I think I did that for like a lot of time. I couldn't quantify it, but I'm gonna be real with y'all. I spent maybe too much time watching It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. At the end of the day, I'm gonna be real with you. For the book report that we did, I was not writing shit, you know? I'm gonna be real. I don't think I wrote anything for that book report at the end of the day. And then it was like, oh, Anthony, it's your turn to go and present. I was like, all right, here's my book report. You know, I chose, all right, now we'll say this. I am going to tell y'all this, but you cannot see me in any sort of negative light or anything like that. I'm not saying give me a pass, but all I'm gonna say is you're gonna think I'm crazy for what the fuck I did. So when we went to the library to pick out a book, the book that I chose, because it was a historical book and I thought it would be interesting to read and see what is, not see what's up, but like, you know, I thought it'd be interesting to do a book report on. It was written by a certain what is it, Austrian artists, former artist, now remembered as a fascist. I did a book on his book, you know. I dare not say the name lest YouTube come and strike me down for saying it. And you know what? I fucking did a book report on Mein Kampf, you know? And I'm gonna be real. It was interesting to read in the aspect of people really think like this. You know what I mean? But it was, I'm not gonna sit here and lie and be like, dude, this was a good read, you know, like he made, no points were made. It was all horrible. That man, I'm glad he's dead, but I'm not gonna lie to y'all, and I will say the truth. I did read that shit and I made a book report on it. Now, like I did say, at the end of the day, I did read it. I did not write much for the book report, like if anything, and I had to get up on stage and like bullshit my way through a book report or whatever. And I'm gonna be real. Look, all right, I'm gonna say this and I mean this in the most kind way possible. However, it's gonna sound insane when I say it. I don't think anyone else had the fucking, I don't think anyone else in that class had the stones to read that book. You know what I mean? They would not be caught within 10 feet of that fucking book. And I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, I'm so like intellectual for deciding to read such a piece of literature, one might say, because it's like, it's fucking Mein Kampf, bro. You know, I don't think you can read Mein Kampf and then be like, oh, I'm so smart. You know, I'm over here reading this media that no one else read. It's more so like it's like I don't want to say an experiment, but it low key kind of feels like it, you know. What does Solar Magic do? Oh, 2 different items. So I'm not gonna sit here and lie to y'all and be like, and you know, like I've gained some sort of knowledge or I've gotten some insight because I've read this, and then like I get to have an air of superiority because, you know, like I literally said, I was like, I don't think anyone else in that class had like the stones to read that book. I don't blame them. Why the fuck would you read it? But, you know, to get off of that topic, I guess. One, I must clarify, I am not a Nazi. No. I feel like I must clarify. Ooh, Diplopia would be so fucking peak because it's about to make items rain. Diplopia as Tainted Lost, not Tainted Lost. Diplopia with Damocles is such a goated combo that it cannot be understated how broken this shit is. If I live to see the Devil Deal, I will show y'all what peak looks like. Let's try this. Bam, and then bam. I've been thinking, Tony, why did you do that? Because I want to keep Shoop to Whoop. I'm gonna be real. I think Shoop to Whoop is a good item, and I'll be damned if I get rid of it. Oh, I'm stupid! Fuck! I'm sorry. I wanted to grab the other thing for spun potential. Spun chance. I'm so sorry, y'all. Tony throws as fucking always. Who would have guessed? Oh me, oh me, oh my. My bad. And anyways. So yeah, I did do a book report on that, and I'm gonna be real, I kind of bullshitted it a little bit because like I feel like I definitely did not get all my thoughts out about how it was like, you know, seeing someone think like this is a very interesting thing in my opinion, because I don't understand the thought process, you know what I mean? As someone who has sympathy and like as someone who is like sympathetic, you know, it's towards like a lot of people, it's really interesting to see how someone could like blame a whole other group of people for like something that's like your own kind of problem or whatever, you know what I mean? Dare I say it's giving cooked. Wait, couldn't I try this? Couldn't I try this real quick? That's not how it works. That's not how it works. I think it's predetermined what effect goes in what room. My bad. But it's just like, you know, I think I was able to maybe get away a bit with kind of BSing the book report by like maybe not covering every topic that I wanted to go over, and kind of just, I'm gonna be real, child, low-key just kind of off the domed it. And I think that one big reasoning is that I don't think anyone was gonna try and fact check me, or not fact check me, but I don't think anyone was gonna try and read that book just to see if like if they picked up on the same shit as I did, you know? So yeah, I gotta say, you know, I feel like it's not a dark point in my time, you know? I'm not gonna sit here and be like, I'm proud I read this book, because I'm gonna be real, I mean, it's, I just read the book, bro. Let's donate while we're here. You know, I'm definitely not like, I'm not gonna say I have a pride thing about reading that book, because God, no, you know, what the fuck? You know what book we're talking about, bro? God, no. Who would ever have pride in reading that type of shit? But I can say that I read it because I wanted to see, I guess, you know? Like a morbid curiosity took over, sort of deal. That's like the perfect way to describe it. It's like a morbid curiosity, because like, you know what I mean? Anyways, regardless of that, at the end of the day, I did read it. But I feel like I don't, you know, that's not something you go around telling people. I'm saying this from a moment of weakness, one might say. Not a moment of weakness, but like, I'm being vulnerable with y'all, you know what I mean? In telling you guys I read this, I'm being vulnerable with y'all. And I'm not asking for some sympathy back. I'm just saying how it is. I am being vulnerable with y'all in mentioning that I have read such a book, one might say. Alright, we need to do boss rush and hush this guy, so. The fuck is brown and nugget? Oh, Mantle. Mickey Mantle or whatever. You know what sucks that I hate doing this? Yeah, sure. At this point, why freaking not, you know? Dude, that should be illegal, bro. I'm gonna be dead ass with you. That level of like waiting for Stain to spawn in, that shit should be illegal. That was the bloat. Okay, okay, okay. Solid, we're able to cover most of the ground. Come on, bruh. Come on, man. You know? You guys remember, is that Boosie that said that? I don't really like the guy, but the video's funny. You guys even know what I'm talking about? I'm so into this boss rush right now. Ooh, quad shot. Can I keep it a oh, God damn it, I was about to say Gert again. Dude, I'm so fucking brain rotted. Can I keep it a buck with y'all? I've recently started to like Guillotine. It is a free orbital. And especially when I have so much going on the screen right now, it's not like my aim matters. If anything, I just need to recognize where my own body is a bit more so I don't accidentally fucking shoot myself. Or not, so I don't shoot myself. So I don't like get, I don't forget and I make my physical self walk into like fire or some shit, you know what I mean? The spirit is willing but the flesh is weak or whatever. However the saying goes. You guys know what I'm talking about, or do I sound insane to y'all? I wouldn't be surprised if I sounded insane. I mean, it's what I usually, it's how I usually sound. Especially after the fucking, after what I just talked about, what book I read in high school for a fucking book report, you guys probably think I am fucking out of my mind. But like I said, I feel like I feel the need to clarify. One, I am not a Nazi. Go die, you know, you feel me? And then, you know, you know what's crazy is that, like, I'm gonna be real with y'all, I'm sharing my real ass sentiment here, like, you know, with what I just said, but I just have a bad feeling that, like, YouTube gonna be like, oh, he's encouraging, you know, he's encouraging something bad, and it's like, my brother, do you, like, you know? Fuck off. I need mantle, man, but there was a troll bomb in there and I didn't know. It could have been the fucking end for Tony, y'all. It could have been the end for Gert, one might say. I'm sorry. I'm so brain rotted. I'm so brain rotted, y'all forgive me. Alright, well, all I gotta say is we just gotta hope. We have 19 luck. We just gotta hope we get something solid out of this at least, right? Metal Gear. Wait. Wild card should be Shoop the Whoop. Fuck me. My Reflection, 100%. Sad Onion. Don't think, yeah, I'll say I don't think it raises a tier cap at all. Toxic Shock is very good, especially considering I have 32 fucking damage. And Lacrophagy. I don't know how I got that, but nice. Oh, I forgot. That's not how it works. All right, let's see if we win the Hush. I'm gonna be real with you. I think we're dead. A part of me doesn't want to say it, but I just have to be real. I think we might be cooked. Unless all this fire can block all these shots, which is good. However, bad in the sense that I can't see anything on the screen. So if some random fucking tier manages to break through the fucking noise that is here, I might be cooked. All right, never mind. Soul of the Lost. That's a good item, I'm pretty sure. Let's go for, what did I grab? Did I grab negative? God. It's funny. I'm scared I'm gonna die. And I feel like I will die more on Shoal due to enemies than I did Hush. You know what I mean? Like, I managed to clear out Hush, kind of nice. But I feel like Shoal would fuck me. Dare I say. I'm gonna keep it a girt with y'all. God, dude. This motherfucker is so brain rotted. Someone save him. Okay. Easy money. Easy money. Okay, my bad. I don't know, I was so worried. Anyways, I guess I can relax slightly. It's gonna override everything, and honestly, I don't know if I want to do that, right? If it overrides everything, does that ruin me? Wait, no, because it... I was gonna say, I think it's a nerf, but it does 6 times my damage. Like, let's be real here. 6 times 40 currently, 240 damage. That is not bad at all. That's, one might say it is peak. That would, I think, ruin us slightly. That would 100% ruin us. What the hell? Man, this game's trying to get me to fucking die. But, I mean, yeah. Yeah, that's a funny story. Where did I go with that? I was just talking about It's Always Sunny for a second. Then I kind of got off the rails for a bit. Anyways, I kind of remember what I was speaking on. I slightly remember the topic. So... yeah, I used to watch Always Sunny in class, and... what? Alright, well, a fucking good run. Good run while it lasted, motherfuckers, I guess. This game is so fucking good. That motherfucker jumped across the entire screen to just say, fuck you. Oh my god, I gotta kill myself. Anyways, fucking good run. And I gotta say, no Nazis here. So like, if you subscribe to that ideology, brother, might as well just fucking clock out for me, you know? Anyways, good run, I guess. I fucking died. So how good can it be? I want to thank y'all for watching. If you guys did enjoy, greatly appreciate it. Hope you guys have a good day and or good night, depending on the time you're viewing this. And I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace out.